out there.
Okay, that's how you believe?
Yeah, I got a teenage daughter, and I let her know. Don't be going around with different boys. Don't be sleeping around. You know. Don't be
So the
kissing
responsibility is on the person who's raped.
men. Well, it depends, like I said.
On what? What if I told you I was like fully clothed?
I don't know. I haven't really.
I was like fully clothed, wearing sweatpants and like loose clothing,
And somebody just like.
and
grabbed
still
you and
someone
raped you?
grabbed me and raped me. Yeah.
Because that's very different. Date rape is different than somebody just grabbing somebody and pulling them to the side of the road and raping them. Date rape is more common.
Do you think that's because the women project that, or because the men project that? Like, why do you think that happens?
Well, because they go out with whoever and things happened, and I don't know, it depends on what she's wearing and how she's like coming across to the other man.
Do you
I
think
don't
that anybody has an invitation to touch you, like, at any point, regardless of if they ask for your consent?
I have no problem like saying no to guys and not putting. I don't put myself in situations that a lot of girls do. I'm different.
So that's sort of the blame there is like on the girls who put themselves in situations like that.
Well, I know I had teenagers, so I do talk to them about stuff, and they know who I am. You know.
No, I'm not disagreeing in that. I think we need to just be careful of our surroundings. Like I carry pepper spray on me. I carry like that kind of thing. You know, like being aware of like what's around you, just to make sure that like someone doesn't attack you or come up to you and so. And like I think we can both agree. that,
Well,
like, of course.
I agree that no one should be touching you. That's kind of why we're here in the first place.
No, but I see.
Yeah, I mean, or for me at least.
I think the difference for me is that like abortion isn't contagious, right? Like a pregnancy isn't going to be contagious.
Well,
Whereas like,
to the baby it is.
what do you like? I mean, like pregnancy is, if you were to describe that as like an illness, which it is essentially, like having to carry a baby is like an illness.
Whoa, that's fun. I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with that,
Deal?
right? But like,
Is carrying a baby an illness?
well, it gives you symptoms. You have to
No,
like
I know.
deliver a child at the end of it.
I
push the
agree with
baby
you.
out, like that kind of thing.
No, I know.
Essentially,
I guess it's just a perspective. Like you look at it as a bad thing instead of looking at it as a good thing. You know what I mean? I agree with
I'm
you.
not looking at a pregnancy as a bad thing.
Okay.
I'm just saying like pregnancy is not contagious. Like if a woman's pregnant, if I were pregnant right now and standing next to you, I couldn't like transfer my pregnancy to you, you know what I mean? But like if I had COVID and I coughed on you, I could transfer that over to you. It's like how to prevent that, it's like really not that hard to wear something this tiny over your face. You know what I mean?
I like to
think
breathe.
it's-
I'm a runner. Like breathing is like the number one thing for
I
me.
have severe asthma
Then
and
why
I've
would you
had
do-
pneumonia in the past, and it's really difficult for me to work out in a mask. I can totally relate to that. It's super hard.
Yeah.
But I think it's worth it if you can protect little babies or people that can't get vaccinated. You know?
Okay. Are you for like forced or no?
Forced what?
Forced vaccines or just by choice?
I think any business or any company has a right to like to instill mandates for their workers to be vaccinated, just like schools do the same with kids getting vaccinated for measles and mumps and rubella and you know like these things, because they're not,
Okay. All right.
you know.
All right. It's kind of hypocritical though.
I would say that you guys are hypocritical saying that like my body, my choice, but yet that's what I believe about abortion.
I guess I agree with you on that. I guess I agree. I would just say abortion is killing another person's body, not your body. You know what I mean? I guess it's just like a philosophical difference whether it's another body in you. Because you know what I mean?
I would say like,
And you probably say it isn't, and I say it is, and that's the fork in the road. You know?
I'd say like no other human has the right to like use someone's own body as a vessel. Like we as adults can't even do that, to like totally take advantage of someone else's body and use it for our own to grow for 9 months. Like no one has that right except for apparently a fetus that isn't even alive. And so that's why, in my opinion, like
Okay.
look, when the
that's
punishment
fine.
when the punishment for aborting a child that was conceived out of sexual violence is worse than convicting the person who actually committed rape or other sexual violence, that's how you know, like, it's an attack on women. It's not an attack on a baby. Like, that's bullshit, in my opinion.
Okay, I mean, I don't think that makes you a bad person or anything. I think it's just a philosophical difference. But you know what I mean?
No, I don't actually. What do you mean by a philosophical difference?
I'm not going to get around I can't get around the point that you're killing a baby. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's it. I mean, it's not like there's nothing really to argue about, you know, or anything.
What, that you're killing a baby? That's what you believe? That's what it is at 5 weeks?
Well,
I'd say killing a baby?
Well, it's
just a bunch of cells.
But the only way, the only way to determine whether something's a life or not, you know, it can't be subjective.
How do you determine that?
That's got to be at conception or heartbeat or something.
It's super subjective. Well, a heartbeat, it's not even a real heart that's beating. It's like a bunch of electrical impulses at 5.5 weeks.
But every human goes to that stage, you know what I mean? That's like the most vulnerable, that's when you need like the most love and the most protection at that stage, you know what I mean? It just seems really crude. I'm not you. I'm just saying in general, just to treat it as such, you know what I mean? Because you were at that stage at one point, right? We all were.
I think
it starts there and then boom, boom, and look at you now.
I think it would be crude to like make a woman carry a pregnancy for 9 months and have her go through all that emotional and like physical. I mean, you can't relate to any of this because I'm assuming you're a man and you don't have a uterus. Not to assume your gender.
No, it's cool. You can assume my gender.
Okay. I think okay, you can shake your head.
No, I'm joking. Just go ahead.
But just out of respect,
no, that's cool.
I'm a woman and I identify as that.
I see that.
But you can't relate to any of those fears, right?
Because I never made any abortion claim to you, like I wanted anything illegal or not. You know what I mean? You guys were having the conversation. I didn't say anything.
I just think the only thing.
Are you concerned about the Texas bill? Or is that what you?
Well, that's of course in my mind because if I didn't have that freedom to like abort a small amount of cells in my uterus
all right.
after being raped, and I had to carry out my pregnancy after being raped, honestly, I would probably kill myself. So if I didn't have that freedom, both me and the child, so you say, would die.
I'm not really fighting abortion at this time, to be honest.
You know,
like that's not my top. That's not my top priority.
Say my body, my choice in terms of masks or like getting a vaccine.
Right.
When chances are you're probably vaccinated against like smallpox and chickenpox and rubella and measles and mumps and all of that other shit.
Only thing that was forced when I was a little kid, but anything else, I've never, since I've been an adult, had my choices. I have never done anything.
No tetanus.
Nothing. I actually I sliced the bottom of my foot. I had 10 stitches. And the nurse is like, you got a tetanus shot? And I lied to her. I go, I got one 2 years ago, but I really hadn't got one in like 20 years.
Doctors.
I do.
Love that.
Fuck them.
Fuck doctors.
No, I'm just joking.
In your life?
I'm joking. I'm joking. You know? I'm joking.
I just think when using a phrase like my body, my choice for something as simple as like wearing a mask compared to like carrying out a pregnancy, which is where that phrase has come from, is protecting my right as a woman with a uterus to not have to carry a child if I don't want to. I just think it feels a little aggressive, in my opinion.
Okay, I'm just here about the mandates, to be honest.
Mask mandate or vaccine mandate?
Just this whole thing.
Can I ask where you work? Are they requiring you to get vaccinated?
It's a weird situation. Me, no. Just because in my position, but a lot of the guys, yes.
Okay, so it doesn't really affect you then?
Well, I'm just starting the job next week, so I haven't even started yet. Up until this point, I haven't really worked for like a year besides doing this kind of stuff.
Okay.
So.
Okay. What about you? Do you feel comfortable asking, like, if I ask you, are you required to get vaccinated?
No.
You're not?
And if I was, I would quit.
And same thing with my kids. Quit? They refuse. They're teenagers, so.
Yeah.
Do you think that's because you have such a high influence for them because you're their mom?
No, they've seen. They don't like all this. They don't like BLM. They don't like Antifa. They don't like any of that.
They don't like.
They are their own. They are their own self. They do their own thing, and they're not for the vaccine. They're not for My daughter is like, "What's the point of getting vaccinated? You're still gonna get COVID."
It's better, man.
So Yeah.
I mean, I haven't gotten COVID and I'm vaccinated. So,
Well, I
does it
wouldn't
freak
either.
you out that you're around a vaccinated person right now? Is that scary?
Yeah, I might catch them.
Really? That's how I feel because you guys aren't vaccinated.
Then why well, you can't be that scared. You're pretty close.
I mean, I'm wearing my mask, you know?
I know.
Oh no. I have antibodies.
Watch out.
Uh-oh.
I'm not saying you. I'm not
I
afraid.
mean, she backed away like 3 feet. So.
I just think in this situation, everyone should just be responsible for themselves. I mean,
And that's how I feel about abortion. Like, don't step in.
Sure.
You guys want no government, like, telling you what to do and not to wear a mask and all this shit. But, like, so don't affect my body, you know?
I would agree completely.
Yeah?
Like right now, if you wanted to cut your arm off,
Right.
I wouldn't stop you.
Right.
But it just goes back to the philosophical whether that's a baby or not. You know what I mean?
In my opinion,
Okay.
a like tiny group of cells
Sure.
is not a baby.
That's a legitimate opinion.
Look, I work as a nanny. I'm a professional nanny.
Yeah.
I work with children. I am adoring of all babies.
Yeah.
But when it comes to my body and if that's affecting my body, especially after a trauma like rape,
Yeah.
I'm not going to go through with that and allow myself even more trauma by carrying a pregnancy I don't want. You know what I mean?
I'm not fighting abortion at this time. It's not even on my radar that's
I'm just saying because you guys are using the rhetoric of like my body, my choice.
well, it's just an obvious comeback to the people who are kind of forcing.
So you are making a statement then on abortion by saying my body, my choice.
Well, it's just going, hey, well, you've been saying my body, my choices. It's just like, it's just a political. It's just a little political game.
Right.
Nothing,
Okay. Interesting. All
Right.
right. Well, it was a pleasure talking
All
to you.
right. You want to give your name? No.
No.
All right.
All right.
Take care.